today we celebrate this new exhibition. The Big Dipper will foretell the future of the Roma. We invited Gosia 3 years ago, more or less, after having seen her magnificent Polish pavilion and Roma pavilion in Venice at the Biennale. And we proposed her to conceive a new project for the collection, starting from histories, researches, and meetings with the Sinti community in Reggio Emilia, and in general about the Italian Roman Sinti community. So she had the occasion last year to meet some families in the region and in the area, Reggio Emilia, and some of them are portrayed in this main central work, as well as archival photographs from the territory. So I leave you ask questions to her. Maybe you already know your practice, you read something, and she had many exhibitions in the recent time. So, but this is special because it's connected with, let's say, with the both historical facts and like the current everyday life of the community here in our territory. So it's many of them will be here tonight to celebrate the exhibition. It will be a special moment.
Sara mentioned that we cooperated with the Roma, actually with Sinti family from Reggio Emilia, because in Italy you have more Sinti than Roma. It's but we are we have the same roots and heritage. But of course, you can find a difference between Roma and Sinti. But when we met all of them I don't know how many camps we visit, maybe 5, 6 here in Reggio Emilia, then I really find the many similars, behavior and some tradition, the same like in my community, because I'm from Poland and I'm from the mountain group Roma. It's you can find them in Slovakia, Czech, Hungary, Russia, Ukraine. That means, everywhere, I think. But we are the biggest minority in Europe. And you can find everywhere Roma and Sinti people. And also, what the group is from the Caminanti. And but, I'm from my side, I'm closer of the Lovari, Keldrash, Polish Roma and Gitano, and and also Manouche from French. But to continue, when we met all of the amazing family here, then they share. Actually, they tell us many things. They share with us all of the the bad story and good story, and many problems. That means everywhere is the same. But my practice is that I always try to find a way how to share, history, or maybe also the private, story through the art. And behind each portrait, behind each person here, is something more. It's not only like the beautiful textile and full of the color and the sometimes a funny situation, but behind each image here, it's also its biggest problems, and you can find a story about what's happened there and about many situations. Like Fosca told me yesterday about the one man from here. He was in the camp, Nazi camp, or not Nazi. Fascist camp, and he escaped, and he was in the part of partisan. That means survivor man, it's for Roma people and Sinti. The part of the Holocaust also is very important to share, to talk about that, to recognize what's happened. And when I find all of this, when Sara and Fosca and amazing team from Collezione Maramotti sent me all of share with me all of the photography from the oldest was from the 20s, I think 1920. I choose some of them, not all. I decide sometimes to cut the person from the one photo, put to different situation, like to mix it, to change also the time, to like do the parallel, what I mean. But also I'm thinking about the theaters, but also about which poem and which person, the poetry I can choose for exactly this installation. Oh, I forgot about that, of course, when we met all of these people, they always tell us about the Luna Park and circus and carousel. They are really proud because, you know, Sinti family from here, they are the owners of the Luna Parks here in Italy. I'm not sure that you know about that. That if you go with your children and you with friends to Luna Parks, the owners, they are Sinti. Now I think that this is something special, yeah? And this is the part of the power, because, you know, I think the change the view and the change the stereotypes, things about the Roma and Sinti. This is something what's happened all the time now, that the activists, Roma activists and Sinti, they try to you know, to be stronger, to fighting about the recognition, about the, you know, to feel more comfortable, you know, in our community. But when we can walk around if you want, and the theater is coming from the Papusha poetry. The Papusha, she is the most important poetry for the Roma community. She passed away maybe 50 years ago, but she lived in the very traditional community, and the Roma women, they are not allowed to finish at any school. But she learned from the Polish friends how to read and write, and she started to write poems. But only in her language, that's Romanes, only Romanes, she write the poetry. The poetry is so beautiful, very strong. And I think she was really intelligent person, because, you know, when you read the poetry, they are full of everything, hope and the past, and many, you know, problems and many symbolic things, you know, about the life. This poetry is, the title is the Papushakry Gili Sherestar Uthodzi. That means the poetry, but also the song. And that means she created this poetry from her head. And this is about the travel, about the magic thing, about the sky, about the nature, about the animals, about the horse, birds, and wolves, and also about the people who try to live in their own roads without any control. Yeah. When I think about these people, the Sinti Roma community, about what they tell me, that they traveling, they stay, they live in the camp, they are not allowed to build the houses from the ground, to be stick in the ground. I don't know how you can say that, but yeah, that means I immediately start to think about this poetry, because this is about the travel, this is about the life, about the trauma what we have from the past. Because when you think about the history of the Roma people, that from the 10th century until 19th century, the history of the victims of the against of the rashes, of the stereotypes, things about everything what's happened with Roma people, also about the slavery, because we are the slavery in the Europe. That means she put everything in the one poetry, in the one, but she play with the words. Yeah, it's so pity that you don't have this in Italy. They translated this in the English, German, and Polish, of course. In Italy you don't have it, but the poetry is really beautiful. And then I start to think about the Sinti Roma from here, that they coming here because first document from Bologna is from the 1422, yeah, the 15th century, that they come here and they stay. That means they really belong of this place, and they really love this place, and they are proud of what they do, but at the same time they are without the law, yeah. That means still for me, surprised that's happened. It's not surprise, because that's happened all the time. You can, when you travel to Slovakia, Czech, or another Balkan, it's the human right is always broken. But you can see all of this family, and also you can recognize. They recognize the song like Marziano. He can recognize all of them here, And they live still in the camp. For me, I live in house, it's different, but I live in mountain, that's not possible to live in the camp. The caravan, it's, could be dangerous. But what I can say more, all the clothes. Oh, they sent me also clothes, like textile from their own community, and I use this, like that one. It's very important and for them and special. When they have some ceremony, they use this textile. That means I decide also to add to this artwork, you know. The rest of the textile, they are from my studio and coming from secondhand, but also from friends and family and Roma community. That means I all the time collect the textile who are not new and always for me it's fresh, the idea, the life after life of Alice Smith or maybe Abby Warburg. But you know, it's really, really important to not use it new one. Sometimes the velvet is new one, but because I need to have all, you know, more the textile like one color. What I can say more? Okay, the horse. So yeah, because when I think about the Carousel, Luna Park and the circus, and I decide to create this installation, then I think about the horse that they need to be free and to not be close of the carousel. They can run and they are more symbolic now. But I use also horse because for when I tell to Sarah that in my place where I live and also in my community, and this animal is very important, you know, because of my you know, the brothers of my grandfather and my grandfather, but also all the neighbors, they are blacksmiths. That they help people in some village to, you know, to create the tools, but at the same time they take care about the horse. Yeah, that means it's something very close. And then when I decide to create them, then also they are not only part of this carousel. Now they are not part of the carousel, but they are part also of my life. Yeah.
I wanted to know about your experience as an artist and what challenges did you overcome as your first year of being an artist?
I think I always did what I like, and I really happy person because my grandparents and also my parents, they never pushed me to do something different. It's not usual, but my family, it's all of them, and uncles and my cousins, they can, we have this tradition that we can choose what we want. And then I decide the first one. This is also something what I never tell you, that Sarah, that I, for 1 year, I was in the textile school. They teach me how to do carpet and gobelin, but I never think about myself like an artist, but I want to do something, you know, by hand. And then I decide after 1 year to change for the high school, different high school artistic, when I do sculpt and furniture. I design furniture. But after that, you know, I decide to pass exam to Academy of Fine Arts, but I choose only sculpture. This is something, and then I, you know, start to think about myself that, okay, I would love to create something. And of course, I think it's something what when you are in high school, you think that you are the best artist, but I never think about myself like that. But when I finished Academy on Fine Arts, you are the master of the art. That means then I became artist, you know. But even that, I always think about myself like activist, the first, because I work in the, you know, we create an organization for the Roma students only in Poland, and I'm the part still of this organization, and even I don't have time now. And we do many things, activist things, education projects, and That was for me more important than art, but I always choose the art and my, profession, how to, work with some children in the Roma community, in the Roma settlements, but also how to share the story and history of the Roma roads. That's mean always I choose the art of that. That's now I'm really lucky because I find in my way really great people who help me, who push me, who always tell me that you need to believe yourself and do not give up. That's mean, I'm really lucky person that I find this. Behind me always was somebody who a little pushed me to do something, to continue, to not give up, then I'm here. I think I'm a lucky person.
So to follow up what you were saying about perceiving yourself more as an activist than an artist, with all the work you're doing and all your, what is you feel like your purpose of doing all your art pieces? Like, do you feel it's more like to deconstruct the idea of this stereotype of the Romani people, or do you feel it's more like a way of keeping a visual archive, to narrate for future generations, or like to keep track of what really was the life of these Romani people?
Maybe you know or not that until 20age, all of the images of Roma people in the art and in the museum, they create not Roma people. They are full of the stereotypes about you can find many bad things, and if I work with the reference from the history of art, and I choose some graphics, they always looks the same. That the Roma people, they travel, they are dirty, they stolen, then they do bad things, but this is not true. You can see, I do the last time when I work with my friend, he's also the professor of history of art, but also curator, and we have one residency in Munich, and our works only was that we need to find all of these images on all the Europe, and we find images from the 15th age until 20, and all of them looks the same. Like somebody repeat the same images, repeat the same stereotypes, the same stigmatization. This is what I do now. This is about the reappropriation. Then now it is the time the Roma people, this is also part of activism, the Roma artists, they bring all the energy, but also the experience, and they decide to change all of these things. So this is also the part. When I share the images of Sinti people here, and I start to talk about that, about the problems, this is about the reappropriation. Because I changed the view about them. They are normal people. They live the same like all of us. They have many problems. They have the same problems, and this is not something. They are not different. They are not islands in the world. They are normal people, and I think this is more important for me to tell about us, to share this story, but to bring also our heritage and culture. Yeah.
Based on what you just said, I was wondering, since the artwork emerges from shared memories and also from personal stories, I was wondering, so to what extent do you feel more like an author, and to what extent do you feel more like a mediator of an overall collective experience?
For one hand, it's more like, I'm narrative, that I want to be a person who talk about very interesting story, but at the same time, this is the part of my identity. I always, it's not like that I know everything. When I travel, to each country and I met some Roma activists or Sinti, I always learn something more. And I all the time do the research, But in Sweden, when I have a huge project with the one Roma community there, they tell me many things. Like I never know about what's happened there for the many centers, and they share with me all this story. This is something but this is also part of my identity. It's not like that I'm out of something. They share me all of this story because they know that we are the huge family, and you need to know about what's happened in our country, but to be honest, sometimes I'm very tired of the many things what they tell me. When they share me many bad things, then I think that, oh no, I need to do something different. Maybe I need to back to abstract work and to do something different, or maybe I need to sculpt only to not continue the bad story, because when I work, like I have one that was 2014. That was 2014. I have a huge project with the two artists about the Holocaust. After 1 year, I have depression, because when you read everything what's happened in the Europe, but also when you visiting like 6 times Auschwitz-Birkenau, then your head is, and the same time you back to your children. I back to my small children. I'm thinking. Then I start to think that I get crazy, because that is full of trauma and sadness, and and then you understand more, and you are part of that. And this is something what is really, but also, and I never back for 10 years. I never back for this project, and the sculpture what I did for this project, my friend take to her garden. And still she kept this, and this is only one artwork that I never show it. But this experience also like that, to be narrative or to be in, and I really in of some, projects like this one. I really love it. I really love this family.
This is the man
that he was the
one who was in prison and then escaped the camp, and he joined the partisan group here in Modena, so very close to Rajmin. Friends and wife.
Maybe because they are from Italy, they can escape, but in Poland it was easy like here. When I think about my grandparents who died in Auschwitz, But this is something what it's really special, here. And what I can say more, I can tell you also about the practice that because I finished sculpture, I think that for me it's easy to do the textile work, because I always think that I do the sculpture, not the textile work, because I cut something, I do change the background, the levers, and I think my experience with sculpture helped me with textile work.
I would ask you that for talk about the Sinti and Roman community, you took photos or testimonies, documents from different decades or times. So how was about speak or work with people from other generations?
Actually, they are really appreciated for that I use all of the photos. But actually, we always ask them for the permission. I think the law is now changed, but of course that's happened that some people, they never ask about permission. But I think it's very important to ask somebody when they share you, and they give you some photography. We need to really be careful and always ask about that they really want to share with you. Because I know that in Poland it's I never use the photo without the permission. It's always, I respect people who are there, But for the old generation, I have one accident with one man. I can tell you what I never forget, and I think it's something what is all the time in my heart. That his family sent me photo of his aunt She died during the Second War, because that was exhibition about some people from the Krakow area, Roma people. And then he came from Germany and he stayed in front of her aunt portrait, and he took the photo, and then he sent me a message that he loved this, what I do, and he's very happy that somebody knows the story about his aunt. This is something what is about a generation, how they deal with that, and also they are really part of that. But that was once what that's happened, that somebody really came to see the portrait of the aunt. Not maybe more, but yeah. But he was really old, like almost 90. That's mean.
After you have told us what you told, it's a little bit difficult to speak about more of the art itself. But can you elaborate a little bit more on the title of the exhibition, because it gives a lot of room to think what you mean by this?
It's the part of this poetry of the Papusha. That's mean that from the Big Dipper they goes and they bring you future. It's something symbolic, yeah. They change that, but at the same time, still is there and give you the more magic things, I find this status because of the story, and also because I think it's close of our identity. That's when you think about the Roma and Sinti community. Yeah.
That's maybe also connected with let's say, with one of the stereotypes also connected to the Roma people, right? To that future and to be...
Yeah, but it's more like in this poetry, she don't want to say that we telling the story and we tell you the fortune telling, But this is more about the travel, about the changing, about the time, about the sky, that when people day and night traveling and they change their life, and also more like about the when you have all the year and the part of the the constellation and your life changing all the time, the season to season, and this is that when you read this poetry, this is about that. About everything. For example, bird go to sleep in this. This is something she wants to share, and also her experience that she really missed that, but she knows that the change time going and the time run, and and we need to adapt of this place, of this time, and changing, and yeah.
I have a question about not exactly this exhibition, but general your artworks. You mostly work on big scaled artworks, and they're mostly different stories from one narrative that you narrate. Mm-hmm. Is there something behind that you make different stories come together? Is there any other emotional or meaning behind it that you work on such a big scaled artworks?
For this case, I try to do smaller work, but it's always when I work, I thinking that for the textiles, I like to see the characters the same size like me, to have the connection also. But some of them, they are bigger. Like for the hair story, what I did, all the brave Roma women, they are really big, like 4 meters, 3 meters. That means I want to change the skull, because for me they are like that. They are more like the biggest person in the world for my community, and for my opinion also. But I think when I travel and when I work with some curators, but also in institutions, and when I see museums and also places like here, we decide together about the size. That means first it's like step by step. They create and check the place and measures, and also in what's the program is sketch. In the SketchUp we check how this look, and like with Polish pavilion we did the same. But in Polish pavilion, we changed the size of this, place a little, only adapt for this work, That mean, when I visit now in Wolfsburg and I need to see this place, it's very important for me, see this place and feelings and light, then I can decide which works I can do and small or big or size or installation or maybe sculpture, it always works like that. That's, it's not easy for my gallery, because I always, and I have also the practice that some works I really keep, and some works I don't want to never sell to the private collection, but only to museum, because for me it's important to show to not keep in the storage, to not, hiding this. I want to share all of the story to be more visible with some, works, with some images. But I have also small works, but this is only for my family. It's, I did for some gifts, many, My mother, she had 5 sisters, now 4, and 5 brothers, and all the cousins, there are more 60. That means when we have the party and the birthday, we have always, do something special, and I always give them some small artwork. I do for them 20 per 20, the small works always. Sometimes bigger, but not for all. But I like a size like this. But I have bigger one. It's bigger than Polish, the one months. But it's hard work. I have 3 assistants, you need to know, and I work with women. They help me a lot, and it's much easier when you have somebody who help you with your practice. But not with sculpture. All the sculptures I did alone, myself. This is something what I really love it to do, without any helps.
You said that you wanted your art to be visible in like museums and not in private collections.
They are in private collection also. I don't mean about the institution. I think about the one person who keep. I have this experience a few years ago that somebody buy my paintings and I never see them for many years. And they don't want to, the land. This is something what I really don't like, Even I ask them. And that's happened, of course. And now I really thinking that, we need to be focused on that and with my galleries. But it's very important for me to be visible, to not be invisible. Because for my practice until many years, more than 20, I do many things, and I was not visible with my art. That means, it's step by step, but if I think about artwork, it's good. But now it's, the part of the decolonization, and it's also the time of the decolonization, and I think also some Roma artists, you can find them everywhere, like Delaine Lamba last year, she was nominated in Turner Prize. I'm so proud of her. She's my friend, and I think this is very exciting. I was really excited, and it's symbolic that changing now. We are more visible now than in many years before.
So I can see that you have, the visible stitches and the patchworks. And do you use this as a form of like connecting different materials, or maybe it could be like a literal or metaphorical repair? So could this be a process of like reconstructing the Roman identity, or like the image that you mentioned before?
Of course, the Roma people, they are sewing by hand, all of this what they have. This is something that I have from my family. But for exactly these works, I never think about the traditional connection, more about the textile and what's they mean for me, and which energy they give me. I don't think about my artwork about patchworks, because they are not patchworks. I can tell you that this is more collage textile. I prefer when we talk about these works like that. because I painting this, and also I put bottoms or earrings or existing thing, but the patchwork is different meanings. Yeah, this is my T-shirt, skirt. This is my textile from my home. The rest. Oh, this one also was mine, and this one also was mine. Yeah, that means I really like to add something from my place and my home and from my clothes.
To talk about like your creative process, I mean, I see like in these collages, there's a lot of textiles, different prints, different colors. How do you decide where you put what? Like, I don't know if it's like a visual thing or more like a meaningful thing, like this material that you collected from somewhere, then it goes here. Like, what is like your creative process in all of this? Because it's like...
And this is a very interesting question, because it's I work like that when I have images and photography, and I decide which characters, which person I can drawing now. Then and when I decide and when I choose and I drawing them, then I print. The drawing is very small. And then I, use the Photoshop program. I decide about the size and I print. It's the exactly the scale what I needed, yeah. And after that, I decide I watch them like that, always in the floor, and then I look around, because in my studio everywhere is many clothes. And then I see which color works with which, and then I put all of the textile together, and then I see how this works. I never think about of course, sometimes I decide to use some clothes, what is very important for me, and then I use the clothes first. Some, like, for example, the T-shirt, what I like,